I'm building a space capsule simulator in my garage so I can explore the virtual universe, land on the moon, Mars, and just about anything else I can think of. Sitting inside the craft, you gain a better understanding of the true scale of this project and the closeness that this simulator will be to a real spacecraft. A lot of changes have happened since my last video, and I'm sure you're all keen to find out what they are. So I'm very excited to show you this, so here is part 3 of building a Kerbal Space simulator. And here you can see where we left off last video. Both seats are in the simulator with the base extension added and the door hatch cut out. Getting inside the simulator, I started off by cutting down the base extension. This extension was protruding above the base ring, so I opted to grab the grinder and to remove it. I then added some leveling compound on top of the base ring. This leveling compound worked great for me as I was able to take away some of the gaps that I had on top of the base ring and the side walls. This leveling compound did dry, however, quite quickly, so I did make my way around cleaning as I went. Overall, I was really happy with how this was looking, as it reflected the vision that I had for this ring. If you'd really like to help this channel get to the moon, guys, make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button and the bell to stay notified, and it would really mean the world. Cutting and shaping the door hatch was necessary, as this door would be opened and closed repeatedly. I was further cutting and shaping the door as I had further difficulty getting the door to open. This is most likely down to the shape of the door, and that it is quite hard to fit a door into this shape. I opted to install a piano hinge on the left-hand side of the door hatch. This one singular hinge should offer the support necessary to allow the door to open and close. To allow the door to open and close repeatedly, I was having to cut a small opening in that top door hatch support. This support opening allows that door to be able to swing open and close without fouling on any other surfaces that it may come in contact with. Moving on to the base extension, I was a bit worried about the base extension moving or warping due to the weight of the capsule being above it, and generally it was very unstable. So here I am adding some supports around the edges of the perimeter on the external, and I'm just gluing and screwing those down to the base frame and connecting them to the base ring. Here you can see the seating position in the Apollo command capsule. You can see those 3 astronauts inside, positioned in line with that base ring extension, similar to how I've got my simulator set up. Jumping inside the simulator, it was time to install the seat armrest. I'm gluing and screwing these supports to the base ring extension. And here I am just cutting the vertical supports for the armrest. These vertical supports are positioned 113mm apart from one another. This is in order to be able to put control surfaces in future embedded into these armrests. Cutting the seat armrest top covers was a bit difficult. This curved shape of having to conform the top cover to the base ring extension was a bit difficult, as the base ring isn't a perfect circle. I wanted to be able to screw these down, as I wanted a kind of industrial look, like if they can be removed in flight and as they will be maybe removed in future. Moving on to setting the top window support, you can see me here positioning a single rail across from one side to the other. This window enables the astronauts to be able to look out and see what's coming in front of their capsule. I'm using a singular rail here in order to be able to line up both sides. As both windows need to be at the same level, I used a singular rail in which I'd be able to cut out after, just so I could get both sides to the same height. Reinforcing that singular rail with another rail allows it to be a bit stiffer and also sets the bottom of that window position above each of the people inside of the simulator. This bottom rail position would be where I actually screw the base cover to that top window. You can see me returning the top window towards the door here. You can see the finished skeleton of the top window support here. I'm just adding some 45-degree pieces to the top window supports. These supports are there to mimic the real spacecraft, limiting the field of view but also making it more realistic, as the capsule shape limits field of view. The internal walls to the top window were a little bit difficult. You can see me here flexing and gluing and screwing the curved pieces of that wall segment. I wanted the curved wall because this is naturally what you would expect in a window like this. Cutting the top window monitor openings was quite easy. Here you can see me cutting through my skeleton and having to reinforce them again by screwing them off. This opening will allow the monitors to come outside of the capsule. As my monitors aren't really square, you can see me adding the top window monitor base frames, which are rectangles, extending out towards the opening of the simulator. Cutting the top window base covers was difficult. I had learnt some techniques on how to shape and cut curved surfaces. Here you can see me screwing that in position. From above the window support, I then marked the opening of the window in the covers. Here's the cover after it was cut. You can see that you'd be looking up through this small opening in the bottom of the cover here. After the top covers were cut, it was a relatively easy process to re-screw these into position and also add some glue, as these covers won't be removed in the future. Some perspex will be added to the inside of these covers in a future video. Cutting the side window openings was relatively easy when compared to the top windows. You can see me starting off with a small cut in the side of the simulator. I opted to extend this window horizontally to allow more field of view. You can see this field of view in the Blue Origin capsule, in where the astronauts inside have a huge field of view. After the opening was cut in the sides of the simulator, I added some small frames around these openings. These frames would position the monitors on the external side and allow a transition where perspex can be added to either side. And here you can see where the simulator was at after the side windows were cut. You can see that the simulator is taking a little bit more shape with every video. Here you can see some exciting things to look forward to in the next video. You can see the views from Kerbal running on all 5 monitors, and I look forward to showing you more about this in the next video.